What's going on, AlchemyPhyt family? It is Madison and James. I know you guys haven't seen us like sit down and talk to you guys in a while. It's been, what did we say?
3 months since we did
3 months
this.
since we like actually
Yeah.
sat down and talked about like a specific topic. But yeah, we did like the deadlift 101 about a month ago. And so yeah, we just want to come on here, sit down, talk to you guys, and kind of do more of a just catch up video of just kind of what we've been doing over the summer, what's been going on with our training, with our clients training, what we've been doing, in Hobbs and here, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So I know we touched on previously in the other video that I was James's deadlifting coach. And so, yeah, why don't you go ahead and tell him how that's been going?
Oh, it's been going great. I cannot stress enough how much it's helped me out with my running, my overall just physicality. Especially with my racing, my running. Most people associate runners that don't, oh, you just run, that's all you do. And that could be further from the truth. Like strength training has become such a crucial part of most runners' regimens.
Yeah.
So
helps prevent injury,
Oh,
keeps them
yes.
healthy.
I feel stronger, faster. I don't get truly injured or hurt a lot. I really don't, thankfully. I'm not gonna knock on wood because that's life. People get hurt, so forth. But I can honestly say that in the past when I've tried deadlifting on my own, I never stuck to it.
Yeah.
And like this go around, I have. Like this has been a significant game changer strength wise, because the video that I send her a video. So this is how it works.
Yeah.
Every Monday, I started off on a Wednesday because my Wednesdays were more my pull days, back days.
Right.
And so for the first time, really truly ever, I separated squats and deadlifts because I had, for the longest time, would do both.
Yep,
the
you
same
did
day.
them in the same exercise.
And when I talked to you in the way that you had designed my program, I was like, okay, separate them two. And I never really did that. And that was an adjustment for me. It really was.
And the reason I had him separate them is because one, that was something that I had learned from my brother, who was my trainer for many years. And they're both compound movements. A squat and a deadlift are both going to be your compound movements. They're going to be, what a compound movement is it involves more than one muscle group. And so if you are loading on a bunch of weight on a squat, and then you have to go over and load a whole bunch for a deadlift, you are totally gassed out. You're not going to have near the energy that you need to push through the rest of your workout, let alone if you have like a run after or something. And so I told him, I was like, you were doing squat and deadlift on the same day? Yeah. I was like, no.
Guilty.
No. And he was like, that's why I probably never stuck to it. I was like, yeah, you were gassed. So I was like, split it up. I was like, because you want to be able to have your squat day where you focus so much more on your squat form, your depth, your volume, your strength, all that. You want to do the same thing for deadlift. And so, yeah, so what it does is every Monday he will send me a video of his reps on his deadlift, and I essentially will go over the videos, critique them, and give a lot of feedback because of course I'm a coach, so I want to make sure that I'm doing that because that's what my brother always did for me. So I make sure to do that with anybody else that I train in terms of physical training rather than just nutrition or hormones and things like that. And so yeah, your progression has gotten a lot better in a short amount of time because you can tell that you already had like the foundation of knowing how to deadlift. You just needed to tweak some things and you needed to see what form you did. And so we worked on all that. We measured if he was going to do conventional, which is feet together, arms outward, or sumo, which is feet more outside and hands inside. So that way they're both different lifts. They both hit different muscle groups, but they're both essentially doing the same thing, which is testing your strength and building up in terms of that strength. And so, yeah, we figured that out, what his grip, if it was going to be alternate or same side on the bar. We figured out
alternate
where that's what I do. And we figured out where his like hinge point is, which is more in the hips, or if it's going to be more in the hamstrings and the glutes and pushing through and all that. So yeah, we did about a 3 to 4 week like testing period, and to where I had him do both conventional and sumo, to where we could really see like what he was comfortable with and how his body moved with it, what was more natural feeling, what you struggled with. And so we ultimately came that you were going to be more of a conventional for this time around. And so we've been working on that for the past few weeks of just building up. And I have been doing what I do, which is progressive overload, which means you go up in weight each week, whether that's by 2.5 pounds, by 5, whatever. I leave that up to the person lifting because they know how it feels. They know when they can push, when they need to pull back. Especially, I feel like you have to pick and choose your clients you can do that with. Because I can do that with somebody like him because he's been in the gym for a long time. He knows his limits. He won't, be afraid to push heavier weight even if I'm not there. But there are certain people that won't push more weight just because they're a little bit nervous, and you kind of have to give them that you can go up and it's going to be okay sort of talk. And so I knew with you I could just set you on progressive overload because you would be able to know your limits. And so yeah, it's been going good. He's been flowing with it really well, and you said you've noticed a difference in implementing that into your training regimen. And yeah, we can tell because he's been also on like a cutting phase through that. And so I've noticed it's helped you cut your weight easier. It's helped your race times. And yeah, it's really just been that kind of secret weapon I feel like we needed to add into your regimen.
I would agree with that.
And now that we have, it's like you've just been able to take off with it.
It's been, the secret weapon aspect is right on the dot of what I felt how stronger I was when I was able to propulsion, like when you say shoot up into that conventional. And so I've applied that to a lot of different things in when I sprint or even with my squats, because I got a new trap bar.
Yeah.
That I've fallen in love with, the Nike trap bar, which there's going to be a video coming on that soon on what you can do. I just wish I had more room because I can do lunges.
Yeah, we'll do a trap bar 101.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the proof is in the pudding of what the results are doing. With my races that I have once a month, this past week, so I had a race, the Hot Damn race. I didn't do a vlog on that, which I have been doing racing vlogs as of late. But with this one, I did record content for it, but the day before I just felt I don't like this. And I really didn't focus.
Because it feels forced. It feels
like felt a little
performing.
With that specific that I was recording. And I just said, no, let's not do one for this one. Yeah. Let's just go out and whatever. And whatever happened. I ended up this last race breaking several PRs of my 5K, my fastest ever recorded 5K, which I was not expecting whatsoever.
Which those are the best, aren't they? Is when like you do something like so well when you weren't really expecting to, and so you were just kind of in that flow state of performance.
Because I knew something was up when I went, and then I told Larry that it was a 5-mile race, and my goal was to get 5 miles. Yeah. I was giving myself an hour, and then Larry, he's one of our clients. Shout out to Larry. He's like,
yeah, we mentioned him
maybe 50 minutes, and I was like, maybe let's do 50 minutes. What's 50 minutes? Let's try to do 5 minutes. 5 miles for 50 minutes, and then across the finish line 43 minutes, which I was like, okay, that's
a pleasant surprise.
That was fast. And you check your Strava, and it's all gold medals, and
and you're on the runner's high.
All right. So when you have those moments that your work, the success of a victory, whatever you want to call it, I got first in the Clydesdale division, big boy division. So the rest of the day, I am nerding out over numbers. I am over here on my computer. Me and my dad are watching football, and I am just going over numbers with him. And I look at my old run keeper numbers from Seattle from 2014, and that's when I saw that I broke those 10-year plus records. And I was 29 years old. 29, I was maybe 160 pounds, 150 at that point, but I'm doing this at 184, which was my last official weigh-in. Well, actually, this morning, I was actually 187 at the race.
Okay.
I was heavier. And then I weighed myself this morning, 184, 184.6. So the fact that I am doing that, and we'll touch upon that here in a little bit, of the weight loss with man stuff and all that, but I was just like amazed that, and I go back to what with you and what you've taught me with the deadlifting, of like, holy crap, like this is really,
it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. And I cannot stress enough to the runners out there whom are afraid of weightlifting, because that's one of the biggest criticisms that you get from a lot of the older folks. It has
a bit of a stigma.
You know, oh no, you lift weights, it's going to slow you down.
It's going to make you heavier,
Heavier. I beg to differ. And I feel I can get down about 180 as I continue on this cutting phase, because I want to keep this going.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not going to change. Really, if anything, I tweak a few things.
Right.
Maybe just add some stuff. Like
it's more just maintenance.
Maintenance. Yeah. And I really want to see how far I can go with this.
Yeah. Why not?
And
especially because you're doing it in a healthy way. Like he's keeping up on his supplements. He's meal prepping. He's keeping up with his nutrition. He's keeping up with his workouts, water, recovery, like all the things.
doing everything she told me to do.
Basically.
And I've never in my life have had a coach that I had to submit stuff to it. So Monday mornings, I know Sunday mornings, or Sundays, I kind of amp myself up. I'm like, all right, let's get ready for the rest of the week. And I make sure to get enough sleep, because I know that I have to record for you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this is the first thing. That's the first thing I do. Mondays, I stretch out, I do maybe a bike, and then I take that back. I do some kettlebell swings to warm up.
Yeah.
To get my hips ready, to get my hamstrings ready, to get the blood flowing. And that combined with the deadlifts, initially it was tough at first.
Yeah.
My runs were heavy.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. So that's when I shifted it to Wednesday Wednesdays to Mondays. I wanted to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Out of the way on Monday. And that helped out a lot. So my legs they've tuned up to it. This past week, when I did amp up the weight to, what did I have it at? 30?
You had 35?
235s, which in the grand scheme of things is very lightweight, especially compared to her.
Deadlift queen.
Deadlift queen. She's astounding is one way to put it. And when I look at the weight that I have on each side, I know that it's lightweight in the grand scheme of things, but with what I'm trying to achieve,
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Well, it's necessary for yours, because I
gotta earn that 45 pounds.
You train for racing as well as lifting. I do everything more as longevity and lifting. So mine is always, I need to get stronger. I'm gonna get it as heavy as I can on this bar. I'm gonna go up and up. Like that's mine. Is I'm gonna get as strong as I can be in every phase. That's
what I'm also like. When I was staring at the weight, I'm like, I can. I was looking at plates too, because I was going to buy some plates that night.
Okay.
And I was going to buy 235 plates just to have them on hand. They were sold out. So I was like, well,
that's how you know it wasn't meant to be.
I was like, okay, they're sold out. I can get 215s. I was like, no, let's get some kettlebells instead. I got some kettlebells. But with the work that I'm seeing from both just the deadlifts especially, and then I added the trap bar squats after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see, just as I progress in the fall, of what
especially when the weather changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that I'm over the moon right now.
Yeah.
With it. And I really can't wait to see what else comes of it, especially as racing season, because this is the meat and potatoes of the racing season.
Yeah.
This is when the marathons, I have a choice to make actually here soon of which half marathon that I want to do. There's 3 that I have my eye on.
Okay.
And last year when I did the Buffalo Wall one, which is the toughest half marathon in Texas, by reputation, check it, it's true. I found out the hard way. But now that
we did a video over that. You guys know.
But now that I'm in the state and the condition that I am now, like I'm definitely ready for a marathon. I don't want to get too that far ahead.
I was like, a marathon? I was like,
no. I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely really just excited to see where else deadlifting will take me.
Oh, yeah. Especially because we'll switch it up, like, eventually, because what I've been doing after putting him on his deadlift regimen, I changed up my program, and I've been doing sumo for the past
how's that been going?
9 weeks, really. And sumo was actually great, because I realized I had done conventional solely, like strictly just conventional for maybe 2 to 3 years. And then after doing it with you and doing the deadlift 101 video, and I felt the movement of doing the sumo, I was like, I think I'm ready to do this again. I was like, I think my body's okay. I think my glutes are fine. I think my hamstrings are ready. I think my knee is okay and it can handle it. And it did.
Yeah.
I was able to get 275, get almost 300, almost hit my max in conventional deadlift in just reps with sumo. So I had no idea that I still maintained a lot of that. So yeah, it was great because I noticed when I would just put 45s on, I would be like, okay, this feels a little too easy. And then I started stacking and and then I was like, oh crap, I can do this. And I can maintain from what I learned from conventional doing sumo. And so now I'm on my own cutting phase to where I'm going to be cutting for the next at least 8 weeks as of right now in terms of how I'll see. Like you said, I want to cut because I want to see where I can go. I'm not, displeased with my body in any way. I most of the time always am what my cousin, like family say, I'm always just permanently bulking because I always want to get as strong as I can and build up my strength. And so this is the first time I've really been on like a cutting phase to where I want to see. I haven't been to, certain weights since I was like high school, college. I just want to see what my body will do with it. Yeah. And so I'm doing sumo again, but this time it's volume training. So it's going to be a lot more to where I'm doing 4 sets of about 10 to 15 reps and amping up and things like that.
Sounds like fun.
And so it's a lot of fun. I like doing cutting phases because you do more volume and repetition more than you do less reps, more weight. So I've been doing that where it's usually I would be doing 3 sets of 5 reps because I'm putting on, again, 275, 315, things like that. And so now it's just doing 4 sets of 10 to 15 reps. And so it's a change, but I like it. I like that I can do the speed with the sumo and I feel comfortable. My knee feels fine. I don't feel like it's caving in. I don't feel like it's in any harm. And so, so it's been going really well and I've enjoyed it.
When you do those 4 sets with that amount of volume, like what else do you do after the fact?
After, because that's also my first day. Okay. And so my off days are Mondays and Tuesdays. One, because Tuesdays we're in Hobbs. And Mondays, because I have to do 2 days. Like my body, with all the injuries I've had, I need solid consecutive 2 days of rest. But that's the first thing I do. So I get either on the Stairmaster, elliptical, or treadmill. I go for about 10 minutes. And then I go do my stretching regimen that I taught you. And then I get going on my sumos. And then I do sumos. And then I do hip thrust right after that. Because I'm blasting my hamstrings and glutes that day. And then I do, now because I'm on a new program. So then I do hamstring curls. And then I do cable kickbacks. And then I've been doing... I can't really remember my other ones because, like I said, I can pull it up right now actually because I just started this like yesterday is when I started my cutting phase. So yesterday, I did sumo deadlifts, hip thrusts, seated leg curls, leg press with high foot placement, cable glute kickbacks, and hip ab and adductors.
Gotcha.
And so I do that, and they're all 4 sets of 10 to 15 reps. So I was there for a while, and then I do an ab circuit where I do 2 different ab sets, and then I go and I do 15 minutes cardio, and I go up by 5 minutes each week. So by the time I'm done, I will be doing 45 minutes of cardio at the end of all my workouts.
That sounds perfect to me. So, I love cardio. That's what I was thinking about.
I don't ever mind it. I just didn't have a good relationship with it when my knee wasn't healthy, and I've always been more of a sprinter and doing a lot of short movements. But now I just, I check out. It lets me cool down. I watch stuff on YouTube or do whatever. And it's been really nice.
So with this change going from conventional to sumo, and you mentioned your knee, how does that feel overall? Is it nagging less? Is it the same?
Most of the time my knee doesn't really give me trouble anymore. And for those of you who don't know, I have I'm not going to call it a defect, but I was born with my left knee with no groove into where your kneecap sits. And so there's supposed to be like this little groove that your kneecap sits in. Mine doesn't. Mine's flat. So it's kind of just idly like sticking on imagine a stick on a flat surface. And so it'll slip and it will dislocate. And so I have had 5 full dislocations in my life since I was 8. My first one was when I was 8. and I have popped them back in myself. Majority of all the times I've had it pop back in my doctors or trainers. I think like twice. The others were me because I had to figure it out. And so that has caused, and I've had like several partial dislocations. Like had one a few weeks ago because they just happen. It'll just slip. I can get as strong as I want and I can build up the muscles around it as much as I want, but it's just how it is. Yeah. I can step wrong and it'll slip and I'll feel it. But when it came to my training, it's never bothered me. The only things that have ever really bothered me are lunges.
Gotcha.
Because of all my dislocations, I have a lot of scar tissue, and I don't have a lot of muscle that sits around my patella tendon. It's like you can feel the bone. Like you can feel it on my knee, and there is no cushion around my patella tendon. And so a lot of times lunges would bother me, but when I step or bend, it literally sounds like 2x4s. Like it sounds like wood splitting. Like that's just how my knees sound. They're very crunchy. My left one especially. And so that's the one that dislocates. And so, yeah, when I trained that, I was always nervous because I was like, it's an outward movement. I don't want to do anything, but I've had no issues. That's like good. None of it. I think it's because I spent so long building up my glutes and hamstrings that I wasn't so quad dominant to where I pulled from that patella tendon. So I think because I've evenly distributed the strength and learned the mind to muscle connection for it, it's been a breeze to where I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to sumo. I'm going to do sumo for another 8 weeks and see what happens. And then, of course, I'll go back to conventional and stuff like that because that's really where my heart is. I love conventional deadlift. But
initially, because I was going to go with sumo because that was something where I felt more comfortable with when I would do it on my own.
Mostly for guys, it is because you usually have longer legs, but because my brother's the same way. He loves sumo because me and him both have long tibias. And so because I have long tibias, it does work better for me to do sumo stances, but I just found better connection with conventional, and I think that's where everybody should start before you spread out your legs and figure out how to distribute this weight, because you want to know how to control it close to the body before you spread it out. And so, yeah, you thought about doing sumo at first, but then as I noticed how you were going through it, you got more of the cues easier with conventional.
Conventional, man, it used to
so
at one
much
point,
fun.
And it's incredibly fun. And at one point at time, it did scare me because of just.
It makes a lot of people nervous because it's a high risk, high reward exercise. Absolutely. You are risking a lot and asking a lot of your body every time you do it.
And that's when you say that, I think some of the biggest jumps and leaps over the summer that I made mentally was the confidence and the new confidence that I was gaining in myself physically that I haven't felt in some time.
Because not a lot of people do it.
No.
Not a lot of people, you don't see a whole lot of people at gyms that aren't power lifters or bodybuilders doing these movements. And so you kind of feel like too cool for school a little bit because you're like,
it's coming in there.
I do this. Like, it just gives you a new confidence because you're doing something that has to take a lot of time to learn and is something that when you do it right, it makes you feel so strong.
Especially when you say doing it right, because when I started doing kettlebell work a few years ago, that was really the deadlifts that I was doing, was just kettlebell deadlifts, which, served its purpose for me.
Yeah, there's benefit to it.
It made me focus on the squatting and then the hinge portion of it a little bit more. I did deadlift my 80-pound kettlebell the other day just to kind of warm up a little bit, and it's still there.
Yeah.
But the principles that I'm learning from what you taught me with the conventional deadlift, I'm applying in a lot of what I do, especially with that open trap bar that I got. Like, that thing, Wednesday is when I do the open trap bar. And so I will dedicate about 30 minutes. What I do on Mondays, I don't send you the videos of those, but it's the same process.
Okay.
So what I did differently, because I've had this trap bar for over a month now.
Yeah.
And it has 2 handles to it, which I sound like a plebeian when I say this, even though I am, a professional in the fitness industry. But I didn't realize when you use one handle over the other on those trap bars, the depth. And I did that for the first time this past, actually yesterday. Oh my God.
It's different.
Like, hugely different. I went down so much deeper, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, because I could feel it. And I didn't have too much weight on. I started off at 25.
Yeah.
Because I'm still earning that weight, as I like to tell people. I got to earn the 35 plates. I got to earn the 45 plates. So when I saw my depth go that much and it felt good, I was like, oh, and I felt it this was at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning when I did it. And when I was training Larry later on that day, I picked up something off the ground and I could feel my legs already start to develop that soreness. And I told Larry, I was like,
it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. And like the race that I just did, it's over at May Simmons Park, which Lubbock, Texas is known for being a very flat place. However, when you go to the east side of Lubbock is when it starts to get a little hilly. May Simmons has a lot of hills.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I call it the hot dam run, but one of the segments of the run is that damn hill.
Yeah.
And that sucker is pretty steep.
It is.
And what I found myself in this race doing with these hills, because everybody slows down at the hills. And I'm the crazy, dude who's like sees the hill and I run up it. I'm like, and I did that for the first time really I say the first time. Let me rephrase that. This was the race that I did it the best at.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't afraid. I wasn't tired doing it.
Yeah.
I was not tired. My hamstrings felt good. My glutes felt good as I'm pushing myself up this hill and I'm eclipsing people. I'm going past them while they slow down. That's where the strategy of this racing comes from.
Yeah.
It's where okay, they're all going to slow down now. So this is where I can use the strength I've gained from deadlifting and it
becomes strategic.
Absolutely. And it paid off.
Yeah.
Because there was one dude who was catching up with me. He's been doing this for the past few races. I don't know who you are, dude, but I appreciate what you're doing because he pushes me.
Yeah.
And he pushes me, keep going. And we try to see who can get ahead of each other. I've thus far have stayed, remained victorious over him. But when I was that hill, he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I was able to do it. And I attribute that, of course, to just the deadlifting aspect of what we've done. That's why it's crucial for all you runners out there. Do not ignore strength training. Everyone's got their own, philosophy on it. That's fair. But I can attest that if you do strength training, it's going to help you better, especially with injury prevention, making you stronger, faster. And it correlates also just like the cutting. So with the cutting that you're talking about of how you want to feel, are you trying to go back to a certain, I'll call it spot, because that's the way I look at it. Like when I'm trying to, like the weight I'm at, I'm 184 pounds. My physique has changed. And when you feel the differences, when you feel those differences, how do I phrase this? The spot that you're trying.
A specific spot in mind.
Do you have a specific spot in mind?
Essentially, I want to get back just to the weight I was when I graduated high school. Just because that was, to me, that was I think the strongest and the best my body had felt, because we worked out so hard in high school. Like ours were intense workouts all the time, 24/7. They were great. I thought high school was way harder than college. Not my first year at LCU. My first year at LCU, we had a strength and conditioning coach, and he kicked our butt, and that was great. I felt really good being there, but I also got hurt a lot. And then the rest of college, and I got hurt like crazy, and they just made me worse. So that was not, my body was not okay in college by any means. And so I didn't want to go back to where I was in college, because that's where a very unhealthy part of injured body, I was hurting a lot. And so I was like, I want to go back to the last time I felt healthy, I felt strong, I felt fast, and I felt capable. And that was in high school. And so I was like, because I'm 29 now. And so I'm like, I could do that. Because it's not a super far jump for me for where I'm at currently, because I've always kind of been able to maintain and build off of what I was in high school and college. And so, going back to that for me, just, I want to be like, okay, this is how I was, but I know it's going to look different. I know I'm going to look different. I'm going to feel different. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay. This is why I was such a cocky little butthead. All right. It's because I felt like this, which was good. And I feel like to play sports, you have to be a little bit, at least if you're good.
I like to think of that as confidence with a splash of I don't like the word cockiness. I like arrogance. I don't know why. I just prefer that word, but I think
I use arrogance more in a negative connotation than I do cockiness. But well,
okay.
it's because people would tell me that in high school. They'd be like, "Damn, you're cocky," and I'd be like, "No, I'm just confident."
Yeah,
and I would be like, "No, I'm just confident." But
well, not in high school.
you do. To me, I think everybody, like, if you're passionate about the sport you're playing and you're good at it, and you spend a lot of time getting good at it, I think you have to have, like, yes, you have confidence in your abilities and your teammates and your coaches, but I feel like you have to have a little bit of that cockiness to where you mess with somebody on the other side of the field. For me, it was the other side of the net. And kind of be able to just kind of get your little digs in here and there and kind of say some stuff. Like, it's just fun because at the end of the day, you don't mean anything that you said. You're not, I wasn't saying anything like vulgar or offensive by any means.
Especially with what you did. Like, that right there to me is like it's healthy because of what the sport that you were in, because that is a very competitive sport at the level you were playing at, like gamesmanship. Yeah. I can appreciate that. I've always admired that about athletes, was the gamesmanship.
Well, because you can get in their head. Exactly. That's all it's about. It's not just a physical sport. It's strategic mental ability. And it's basically, that's what I was doing. I would chirp in a little here and there. I would call out certain plays I knew that they were going to run and be like, okay, they're going over here. And we'd say it loud. I mean, my whole teams, like all my teams got behind us about it. And we all knew, okay, we're getting in this person's head. And yes, did it sometimes go too far? Yeah. And did we say some things we probably shouldn't have? Yes, because I was in high school. But it was all just fun and games, because at the end of the game, no matter who won or who lost, like, it was over. It didn't get carried on any further than that. It's not like there was cyberbullying and anything. We weren't going after each other. It was all for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as that last whistle blew and game was done, sets were gone, then we moved on. But I feel like you have to have that in sports. At least if you are enjoying the competitiveness, what it's for, you just got to have, like you said, you and that guy, you have like that, oh yeah, come on. Like, if you have that competitiveness to where you both are pushing each other, but you're also trying to see who can be the better one.
And that's where the past few months I've been mentally just, I'm not going to say wrestling with it, because I think that gives a connotation of something that's been
of a struggle.
A struggle. Mm-hmm. I'm not really struggling with it. It's, I've lost weight. If you go back and look at the videos of this year, you can, and I've gotten a lot of comments lately that I've lost weight, and it hasn't been bad comments. And when you do feel and you get those affirmations, hey, you've lost weight, and it feels good. It really does. But then when I'm also winning division, my division in the races that I do with my running club, there is that balance that I'm having to work on.
Yeah.
Of, okay, like, I forgot about this feeling.
Yeah.
Especially with just now that it's all coming together. And this is going to sound stupid to some, but to me it's not. Maybe not to you. But I always think of wrestling. Shocker. I know, I think of wrestling. And I'm like, okay. Do I want
to be the baby face or do I want to be the heel?
Yeah, who do I? There's 3 wrestlers. I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna name them. Who I'm trying to, like, all right, let's find the balance, because I'm really trying not to go full blown 09 Randy Orton. if you've watched wrestling, Randy Orton, he's one of the goats.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But when I was much younger, a much younger man, I did get compared to Randy Orton a few times. Because of just, not because of my, I guess, I don't know, looks or whatever, but it was my attitude. Because
Randy has a very specific swagger.
Yes.
He has a very specific persona as well. Because you can tell when he walks in a room.
Yes. Because of my swagger. And then there's two other wrestlers that come to mind. I'm going to go with Dwayne, because of just when I can get a little,
Can you smell what the fuck you're cooking?
I ain't done that yet. And
you need to do that when you do like a cooking vlog.
Hey, there you go.
That would be funny.
Might be our next idea there. And the third one is CM Punk. Now, why do I bring this up? I bring this up because it's just, I can relate to those characters. I say characters because there is a bit of who
there's
they
a character persona.
There's a character persona, but also those characters, that's a bit of who they are.
Yeah, it's an extension of them.
But those characters and those wrestlers are the ones that I felt that I gravitated to the most because of that balancing of like, okay, cocky, arrogant, babyface.
Yeah.
And so in real life, when people, and I've seen it with my own two eyes, I'm sure you have, but when you start to either go back to a certain spot that you were at in your life previously, or you're going especially to a new spot, that really can alter and take you into a new direction.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to handle this?
Yeah.
Because I've seen people, you know, whom at one point in their life, they were not in the shape they wanted to be in, and the physical conditioning, and then they get into tremendous shape, but then their whole personality changes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not for the best. And based off
tapping around,
yeah,
Charlotte's
that's
walking.
Charlotte. That is something that I have just been like really meditating on and working through, like with therapy. You know, I talk a lot about that in my therapy, a lot with my therapist, and among other things. Because as I'm cutting, as you're cutting, you know, we're both heading into like these uncharted territories. Charlotte has got to get. Should we maybe? Y'all haven't seen Charlotte?
She's stretching on me right now.
She's been a little sick the past few days, so I've been babying Charlotte. We'll see if she comes over.
Come on. You want to come up here? Come on. Come on, Charlotte.
As you can
come
tell.
on. Come on.
We'll see if she does.
Charlotte,
come on.
Come on. Up.
Jump. Sure.
Come here. Well, come on. She's getting like excited, nervous.
She's the shy one out of the two. Tara loves the cat.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Hi. Hi, sweetie. What are you doing? What are you doing? You stretching?
We digress. You know, my cut too. I think, you know, you touched upon a spot that you're trying to go back to in high school. Like last week when I won won the Clydesdale division, and I told my dad, he was sitting right over there. I said, after I was done and looking at the numbers, I told him, I was like, Dad, I think I might actually be perhaps in the best physical condition of my life. And that's a bold statement to make to somebody, but also to yourself. And I really thought about that, and I didn't let it get to my head because there is more work to do.
Oh yeah,
there really
you're
is
never done in terms of fitness.
Yes, you're never done. As I told someone yesterday that I don't intend to go back to being over 200 pounds ever again in my life. Especially with how I feel now.
I was going to say, I don't see you doing that either, just with the overall capacity you've been able to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And once you feel what it's like, you don't want to go back.
I'm really remembering and feeling just amazing and great. That I'm chasing my 29-year-old self. I really am. It was something.
I get that because I'm chasing my 18-year-old self.
Yeah, and it was a cathartic moment that I had last Sunday.
She's fast.
Yeah, I've heard the legend of it.
Mine's fast. Yeah,
And so was my guy.
Yeah.
My 29-year-old self was fast, very cunning, but when I saw it, I broke those two records. I just felt.
Well, you get that amazing note that your work was worth it.
It was worth it, and it makes you look at the things you have been, the sacrifices you have been making with your dietary stuff. Because, I like
your hormones too.
Yeah, hormones. I like Raising Cane's like everybody else. I like pizza, like this, and that. But I've also made those decisions of, I can't have that today because I got meal prep at the house, and so forth.
Yeah.
And I got water filter. What is that? Gravity fed water filter.
Mm-hmm.
Got that. I've made changes in my kitchen, of convenience. I got rid of my Keurig coffee makers. I wasn't using it anymore. It was taking up space because I wanted to focus more on just actually brewing coffee and so forth on my own. I got to pour over small little details like that.
Yeah.
And yes,
the lifestyle changes.
Lifestyle changes, and that's the key thing. Is that with the lifestyle changes that I have made this past summer, I don't think I've ever been this hyped and excited for a fall in my life.
Yeah. I would agree.
You know, especially with...
I would agree with that on yours, because you could always tell that you were kind of fighting that, I want to be under 200, because it was something you talked about for a while, and then I remember it was after your half marathon, and I was like, look, we can get you where you want to go. I was like, but you've got to hit the ground running. You got to listen, and you got to not deviate. And then that switch flipped, and you were set, and it was good ever since. And you can tell now that the proof is in your protein pudding, and it's been working for you. And now it's so much so that you don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. Yeah, my clothes fit a lot differently, for sure. I can't say that managing weight under 190 pounds, because that was the original goal. Yeah, it was 190 pounds. I'm down to 184. It is easier to manage the weight and cut weight now. Yeah. Once you get there,
it's easier to maintain.
It was a few weeks ago, I weighed myself, and I was 194 pounds. I was like, what? And then it was a Wednesday, I think. Wednesday. And it was not an unofficial weight. I just stepped on the scale real quick, and so I got off. And
that's why I always tell people, don't do that. Weigh yourself once a month.
I went on a run. Yeah, it was the day I went on that 10-mile run. And I weighed myself for an official weight, and I went down to 186. And so I was like, man, there you go. But that's the thing. When I was over 200 pounds, that wasn't working. Yeah. And it was so tough to do that. But now that my body is back to where it wants to be, it's like, okay, I'm gonna work with you a lot more. It's working, like my body is working.
It's working with you, not against you.
And over 200 pounds, it felt like it was working against me with joint pain, inflammation, and so forth. And now that I am, especially below 190, in that 190, 180 range, like my body's just...
It's chugging along.
It's chugging along.
Because it'll tell you. Your body will tell you. And I feel like that's why a lot of people, when they're on their weight loss journey, feel so like miserable at first, is because they're like, oh, I got to do all this. And it's because your body has just been fighting against you for so long. It takes time to build that routine, to see the results, because you're not going to get it super quickly and things like that. And so I think that's where people that do like GLP-1s and things like that, and they see all the benefit of losing the weight, and they do it quickly, and then they either get off it and gained it all back, or they didn't build that regimen while they were losing. It does make it harder. It's where some people lose all the weight and they don't feel good. And it's because you've got to put diet and exercise along with a GLP-1, which was a huge thing that we talked about and that you researched this summer, because we ran into people that are clients of ours that were taking them, and a lot of people are starting to really realize with GLP-1s is, yes, they're helping you lose weight, and I think that they are great if they are used as intended. To where it's people with thyroid issues, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, all these things.
Kidney disease.
And they're very helpful. They really are. They're designed for people who truly struggle to lose weight because of all these other things working, literally, their body working against them. Yeah. And so then they have lost the weight, but we've noticed that they are losing their muscle mass. Yes. Because as you go through it, yes, you're losing, and you're might be feeling good, might be feeling bad certain times, might be nauseated or not. I know everybody has different symptoms on it, but once you got to that point, we had a lot of people that just didn't feel good. And one of those people was your mother. And she had realized that when she went to go, because she owns transportation business, she has to go on buses a lot to look at them, and she had grabbed the rails to take the steps on a bus. She realized she couldn't do it. And it's something she had done for years. Without a second thought. And so she realized that the GLP-1 got her to her weight goal where she wanted to be, but it had taken a lot of her muscle mass. And so then she started working out with us. We've been building her back, and she's been making progress after progress after progress, which shows you it's great. We just want to always touch on, we don't want you to have to rebuild. We don't want you to have to get to a point. If you do, it's fine. You didn't do anything wrong. There just wasn't enough, proof or evidence of people talking about what actually happens to your body on these GLP-1s if you do not do proper diet and exercise while taking it. Because if you do it while taking it, your body's going to bounce back a lot better. It's going to know how to distribute the nutrients. It's going to know how to feed your body to react. But if you're doing it just for the sole purpose of weight loss and you're not accompanying anything else, you either lose your muscle mass and have to try to gain it back, or you lose the weight and you gain it all back once you get off of it. So it's stuff like that to me is the biggest evidence of your body either working for you or against you. Is seeing how people have been on GLP-1s and if they've either done proper diet and exercise while on it or if they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's been the biggest one to where I'm like, your body's not working with it.
Yeah.
Or it just needs some help, because your body will tell you.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to know how to listen to it. You have to know, and it's not just saying, oh, my body wants to eat this. It's not cravings. Cravings are different. Cravings are hormonal related.
Yeah.
It's listening to your actual body being like, is this good for me? Is this going to serve me well? Is this going to be easily digestible? Is this going to be good for me to go to sleep tonight? Is this going to be good for my workout in the morning? You got to ask yourself these questions. And just like you said, you couldn't go get canes or go do this because you knew you had meal prep at home. Like, you were listening to your body, because it will tell you what it wants. It'll tell you, no, I want the food that we cooked here. No, I'd rather take in more water. No, I'd rather do this. Because once you build it up to that routine, that's all it wants, because it wants those good nutrients. And so I feel like that's something also that we did this summer, was really focus on listening to our clients' bodies and what they wanted, whether it was the people that were on GLP-1s and people that weren't, and people that were wanting to gain muscle, wanting to lose weight, and just whatever their goals were. We really, I feel like this year, listened to our clients' bodies and tailored it specifically for them, to where now, I mean, our clients are rock stars.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we don't create a one-size-fits-all like program for anybody, and there's a lot of that out there. There really is. And so what I've learned, she obviously, we don't create that one-size-fits-all thing.
It's very individualized.
Very individualized. And to me, even though it's individualized, you have to make separate plans for each people, and I find it a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
For me, at least. I know it doesn't make a little bit of sense, but it's you got to put more work in, but it makes it easier for us to do our jobs and understand what, as they learn, we learn too. Mm-hmm. Especially because with one client, you can look back at a plan you did with them and think, well, maybe if we take this, it worked for this person, let's try it with this person.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it works.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it may not. Everyone's different. And so that was something that I learned a lot this summer, especially with strength training.
Yeah.
Because I have gotten my clients, especially the Lubbock ones, onto a trap bar, deadlifting, learning how to separate. All right, we focused on squats today. Now we're going to go to deadlifting. Right. So I've incorporated that to what they do. It's showing with them, as we were discussing off camera earlier, how they're seeing the development.
Yeah, their progression has improved significantly.
And we mentioned the GLP-1s. That was another thing we did this summer, while we weren't off planet, if you will. We were just doing summer things. She was hanging out with her family. I was hanging out with my family. We were doing stuff.
Yeah, we were enjoying summer vacation.
Enjoying summer vacation too. But one of the last things that we did with our clients, we trained our clients in Hobbs every Tuesday. We'd go once a week and do our summer camp, I guess.
I always think it's summer camp, because we always end up getting more people that are busier during the school year. Mm-hmm. And so we always get more of an influx of people. And so I feel like it almost becomes like, okay, well, we know we're going to get some people. How are we going to make it more like fun this time? And so I feel like what we did was, one, like introducing like my area where we did the band glute building session. Mm-hmm. That got a lot of people, which was so much fun. So that was great. So it was really, which is a lot of people want. I'm sorry, I'm not afraid to say it. Everybody wants a good looking butt. Why would you not? It's easier when you sit down. You feel better. You have more strength because it's the biggest muscles in your body.
Makes you run faster.
Why would you not want a good butt? Everybody wants one. And if you don't, you're lying to me. Stop lying to me. But so that was so much fun, because it was able to build them up in a way that most people either neglect or forget about or don't realize the benefit of, because they didn't realize how me just putting a small resistance band around their legs was going to eviscerate them.
Oh yeah.
And make them sore for days. I mean, I had his own mother being like, man, if you come near me, I'm going to hit you. And so I would stay away from them. But it was so much fun, because they would get done and be like, I'm so sore, but like my legs feel good. I'm feeling better. And that was a lot of fun. And then I think when you really introduced and honed in on the farmer's carry, I think that became something, especially for females, because majority of our clients are females. And so it really helped them be able to feel stronger, feel more capable, build up endurance, and apply it to everyday life. Mm-hmm. Because his mother and sisters went to Europe on a cruise in July, and they told him, as people may or may not know, in Europe, you do a lot of walking. You do a lot of carrying your own bags. There's not, the readily available stuff that we do here in the US. You do a lot of walking and for many hours at a time, and you're carrying those bags. And as Mom said, those farmer carries saved them.
Yep.
They were able to carry those bags for a long period of time and not be super tired. And so it was great. And it just shows you what you're doing in terms of the way that you eat, the way you move your body, the way that you rest. It all applies to everyday life that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like the biggest thing I felt like to us that we felt really accomplished with this summer is we felt like we built better bodies for better people, tailored specifically for their needs, as well as working together with the GLP-1s. Because we're not going to be one of those people, just like with AI and stuff, like we're not going to fight against it because it's here to stay. We want to know how to cohabitate with it. Just like I feel passionate about ocean conservation and environmental issues. Like, it's their planet too, so you got to work together. And so if people are introducing GLP-1s and they take them, it's a lot better for us to work together with those clients that are taking them than to be like, oh, I don't like that, and so don't take that. I'm not going to train you if you're on that. Like, no, people can make their own decisions. They're grown-ups. And so people are going to people, as I like to say. And so working together with them and how to build something together is so much better than trying to fight against it. And so I think that was our big theme this summer was how can we use these new tools such as either like AI and TikTok information and GLP-1s and all that, instead of fight against it, how can we use it to help them? And I feel like we did a really good job of that because we had an in-service last week to where we basically got to share with our clients over at B&G. Shout out to you guys. Y'all are amazing. And we got to basically showcase what we've done this past year and how we've done it with the GLP-1s and for the hormone side and how to deal with, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and realize it hits women at very different ages. And just like we talked about, it's not a one size fits all with hormones either. Like I had many women get tested and it was low estrogen or low progesterone. Like everybody had different hormone issues. And we were able to tailor that with their workouts and with their food and supplementation to specifically aid in that whatever deficiency they were going through, whatever imbalance they had in their hormones. And so that was another big thing that we touched on. And so it was just going to show the entire time of what our entire business is built on is working individually with people's bodies and giving their bodies what they need, giving them the education that they deserve, giving them the applicable tools that they can use in their everyday life to feel that sense of accomplishment and control and independence that I feel like everybody wants.
Oh, yeah.
But people do that, just because you're getting older, just because it's... No. I had a awesome interaction at the gym earlier with one of the girls that works front desk, and she works all other classes, and she's in her 70s.
Yeah.
And she had a shirt on that said, "Strength is ageless." And I was like, I love your shirt. I think that's awesome. And she'll come up to me and be like, yeah, I saw what you were doing, and I'm going to put it in my workout class. And she's great. She's in her 70s, like I said. She's leading a workout class. And so strength and exercise is completely ageless. And I am 100% believer in that. I know you are as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
110%.
so that has been something that I feel like we got to show a lot of people this year with you don't have to just be, into races or in the gym all the time. You can be somebody that works at a transportation business and drives a bus or helps manage buses or cleans the buses, works on them, maintenance, whatever. And you can still get stronger and help your body so you can do that job better.
I think that's absolutely, it's crazy. I've never heard of that though. Strength is ageless. And
it was awesome. Well, I always heard aging doesn't have to suck. Yeah, I've heard people say it that way, but her shirt said strength is ageless. And I just kept looking at that and I was like, she's exactly right. That's why we always say we train for longevity, because we want to make sure people are doing this as long as they possibly can.
As long as they can, because we don't build overnight successes. We build long-term success. We
build lifestyle
changes. Because those sustain a lot longer than the overnight success. This isn't a TikTok, trendy thing or whatever, social media thing you want to use. It becomes, because I still get asked those questions of I saw this on TikTok. I saw this on
which there's nothing wrong with that. As long as, like you said, we're working with it.
Yeah, we're working with it.
Not against it.
And I've been I don't know about you, but there've been plenty of times where, I put poo-poo on what they're saying because it's I'm sorry, but that's not going to work,
Yeah, there's good, correction about it. Like we said, there's good of knowing because we are the type of people that know, because we're in this specific field that know if something's true or not, just like them at their job. They would be able to tell us if what we were seeing is true or not in their aspect. So, we've been able to really...
Truth busters.
essentially working together with him. So yeah, that's what we've been up to this summer, guys. We've just been enjoying time with our families and going on vacations and growing our clients in terms of their goals, but basically just working with people's bodies and what they give us. And yeah, so we appreciate you guys listening in. I know it's been a while, but we appreciate y'all still sticking around for all the awesome vlogs that James has been doing. And I've tried to film some vlogs, but somehow it never works. It either stops recording or it doesn't save.
I've been looking forward to seeing
and it drives me nuts. But now that I'm on this cutting phase, I've never really documented a cutting phase of mine before because I've never truly done one. So I'm going to get some content out for you guys on that front. So look out for that. But other than that, like we always say, treat your body with intention. It's the most permanent place you'll ever live. And now, strength is ageless. So go get you some. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And we'll catch you later.
Adios.